Good morning. This is Bill from Auto Europa Naples, and today I have a very special treat. Anyone who's been following my videos for a while, and I very much do appreciate anyone who's been following my videos for a while, God help you. Well, you know that I've dealt in a lot of 560 SLs, or R107 Roadsters, and quite a few 560 SLs. This is top three out of dozens of very nice high-end 560s. This one is absolutely incredible. It's finished in glacier white outside, a terrific color you don't see very often. Very nice color for the South. And it is original paint, which is astounding. It's been owned by one family in Naples since new. It was purchased new at our local Mercedes dealer in the late 80s, Regency Auto House, by a well-to-do gentleman who drove it lovingly for a few years and sparingly, garage kept it, but used it as a weekend car. He passed away probably 8 or 9 years ago and left it to his daughter, who also kept it incredibly well in his memory, and only recently did she part with it. So this is one of truly the best locally sourced cars that I've seen in a very long time. The Carfax on it is astounding. It's been in southern Florida since new, so corrosion is not an issue. The paint absolutely glistens, and it goes down the road in an incredible manner. It's so nice and tight and together. Some of these things, when they get miles on them, they haven't been maintained, they've been beat up, they drive like trucks, they're terrible. This one absolutely glides the way that this car is supposed to, which is, of course, befitting for a car that was more than $60,000 in 1988. So, this is truly sort of the pinnacle of an era of Mercedes that is long gone, when Mercedes really was a true nuts and bolts, wood and leather German luxury car maker, and every Mercedes was essentially a luxury item that could be used, long term, forever, as long as you're willing to maintain it. This is a forever car. It's not built like the cars of today. If they, needed to use 4 big bolts, they use 12. The materials, the craftsmen, all West German guys being paid very well, and were expected to deliver, and man, did they. What a gorgeous, gorgeous car. So there it is. Anyway, R107 Roadster. You see that beautiful, subtle swoop on the rear trunk? The earlier models of these, that's kind of how they got their nickname Pagoda. It looks a little bit like the Japanese architecture. Anyway, let's start at the front and make our way to the back. So up front, you can see essentially as it came, very nice American style round headlamps there. The chrome bright work is exceptional. The Mercedes badge is original. You can see the blue is still inside. This is something I haven't seen in years, and that's one of these bumpers untouched by the bolts. Very often, 90% of these cars, you see 2 big dings where the bolts go. This one doesn't have it. All the lenses are nice and clear, beautiful clarity. The grille is nice and dark. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And look at the finish of the chrome. And man, is the chrome nice on this car, not just in terms of the condition of the chrome, but the styling of the chrome. It's just the right amount. Beautiful touch to provide luxury without overwhelming you. Here you can see the rims are original finish, never been painted. Absolutely stunning. They're wearing Michelin tires. Those were the Aero rims that came out in '86. They went to 15-inch for the 560, and they're in great condition. Here on the windshield, you can see everything lovely. It still has the original silver wiper blades. What often happens with those is, people go to Advance Auto, they replace the whole arm because it's easier. These you're supposed to put in these Bosch inserts, which are mostly bought at the dealer, but you can also get them at Advance. And this guy took the time to do it right. He pulled out the inserts, he put in the new ones, and that way it maintains these nice silver wiper arms instead of having a silver stalk with a black, wiper arm. So very, very nice. Look at the chrome mirrors, gorgeous. Up top, you can see everything in nice shape. The sun visors are terrific. That's another weak point in these cars. These things tend to go south on you. They're in great shape on this car. Let me show you under the hood, and then we'll make our way to the back. So this is a very big deal under the hood of this car. Reason being, in the early 80s, you couldn't get the 500 SL here. You couldn't get it. They had the 380 SL. They did have the 500 SL in Europe, and of course Americans wanted the big V8. That's what we do. We want big V8s. So a lot of Americans went over to Germany and brought in what they call gray market cars. So the 500 SL came over here. The dealers in America selling the 380 SLs freaked out because they're not getting the business. You know, a bunch of guys are going and getting the V8s in Europe. So they screamed bloody murder to Mercedes, and Mercedes responded with this motor in the 107. That is from the S-Class. It's a 5.6, just under 5.6 liter V8. You know, dual overhead cam, absolutely screaming motor for the time. I think about 240 horsepower, and it really gets up and pushes this car down the road. The funny thing is they didn't release the 560 SL in Europe, so all of those guys want the big V8. They're sending them back the other way, and there's just an ongoing war. So you can see how nice it is under here. Everything very proper and original, no modifications, in great shape, just well preserved original. Not been restored, not been refinished, just as it came. And over here you can see the VIN stickers. These are important. You see that guy there on the hood? There's one over there on the fender, and then one here on this fender. And those are, you know, they were for theft protection, of course, back in the day. But what they also show is that the car has all original body panels. It's also got the VIN stamped right here on the core support. So you can see that this car's never been touched. And of course, if you know original paint, you know it's never been painted, nice and smooth. And, you know, no adjustments on the bolts, none of that stuff. This is straight, proper, the way it came. Incredible, incredible condition. Oh, God, the way the doors close in these things. Doors and hoods and such. Okay, back here you can see the trunk area looks like it's really never been used. It's in exceptional condition. Everything extremely nice. If you open up this guy, you got your battery box and your jack, all as it should be, and no gook or dust or any of that stuff. Just all really, really nice and well preserved how it came. Underneath here, oh, I should show you that while we're there, more VIN stickers. So you got one right down there by the trunk hinge, and then one over here on the other side, and of course one on the trunk. I won't go into it, but the bumpers also have it underneath. So again, you know that it's all original sheet metal front and back. Here is the original spare tire. That's the tire it came with, in perfect condition, never been on the ground. You can see nicely tacked down there with the original attention. Also a bagged set of tools. You rarely even see the tools, let alone the bags that they came in. And again, for collectability, that's just astounding. Terrific, terrific setup. Our carpet back down. And good to go. Okay, moving on to the interior, let me very quickly show you more of the VIN stickers. You can see you've got one there on the front of the door. Go around to the other side. And we've got one there as well. So now you can document that the car has all the original sheet metal that it came with, which is a terrific feature. Now look inside at this beautiful, beautiful leather. So absolutely gorgeous original leather seats in beautiful condition, lovely navy blue. Contrasts very nicely with the top. The door panels nice and tight, no issues there at all. And I'll show you something pretty cool. If you see this vent here blowing cold air or hot air out the side of the dash, well, where the hell does it go? There's no vents anywhere. Well, if you have a look in there, it blows into this guy and then emanates very nicely and gently from these perforations in the door panel. So in the summer you get cool air kind of oozing at you from the sides. In the winter you get hot air. It's just a subtle way to keep you feeling very comfortable and just absolutely typical of the Mercedes engineers. Look at the way the door latch works. I mean, nothing else works like that. Look at the big striker and beautiful chrome, the latch. When I close it, it sounds like a bank vault, and of course that's a signature thing for Mercedes. Here in the back, the package shelf area, you can see it's absolutely stunning. Nobody's ever cut it out for speakers or done anything weird, just absolutely perfect, no fading of the carpet. It's got the original first aid kit where it should be, and everything nice. When we hop in, we'll see the leather steering wheel here. It does have an airbag. Mercedes pioneered that, so they were very early airbag cars. And you can see everything just gorgeous. There you see just 36,000 miles on the clock. If you look at the orangeness of the gauges, that shows that this car, by orangeness I mean the inner lettering there. When these cars are outside for a long time, that turns to yellow and then to white. So when they're this orange, it means the car stayed inside most of the time. The dash is in great shape, very, very smooth, and blue dashes are known for being particularly vulnerable to cracking. So for a blue one to be this nice, again, you know this car led a soft life. It's just an absolutely little hint of a crack right there, nothing much. The temperature sensor is nice and tight. That is an exceptional dashboard in this car, as is the lumbar. The wood is in really great shape. You see the beautiful chrome trim around the wood. That's just typical of the way Mercedes did business back then. Everything was just so beautifully finished and, craftsman-like. It's got the original Becker radio, nice to see. Climate control, beautiful, beautiful lumbar there. Lovely leather shift knob. Everything absolutely gorgeous. You can see the hieroglyphics on the switches. You see my Band-Aid. Hieroglyphics on the switches are all nice. It's not worn away. Oh boy, we've got big jets today. Look at that. I haven't seen that in a while, so anyway, I'll try to pass the time till it's by. Anyway, nothing worn away. There's no gook. There's nothing encased underneath the plastic here. Over here on the stalks, you can see how nice and shiny the hieroglyphics are. No wear from fingers or oils or cleaning. The premium leaded sticker is still nice. The the headlight switch still nice. You can just tell that this car has 36,000 miles and has been extraordinarily well kept. If you go to the Carfax report, you'll see it's the most beautiful, steady progression of mileage to document this car, and it shows in every part of it. And the pedals are nice. I'm going to focus in on the VIN sticker for a minute, so anyone wanting that information can pause it and have it. There you go. I believe this was a very late 88, made in 12 of 87. Oh, God, that sound. Okay, over here on the other side, you see the condition is quite the same. Passenger side in terrific shape. Here we've got some service records with the car. I believe these are just from the daughter's ownership. The one from the father wasn't found. Here you can see Mercedes version of a protector plate still with the car. The hang tags for the climate control and cruise control still with the car. Even the Becker head cleaner. Very nice to see that. You've got 3 keys with this car, the 2 masters and the valet, all original. And of course a service book, owner's manual. But here is the prize. Let's see if I can find that. Here is the original window sticker for the car. You can see it was delivered to Regency Auto House in Naples. That's very nice to see. And you can see the car cost over $62,000. Back in 1988, which is absolutely phenomenally high sticker price. I think a Honda Accord cost about 10 grand. So this was a true luxury item, and has been built to last by West German builders and designers and engineers. And as long as you maintain it and keep it nice, it'll serve you well. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pause the camera for a minute and get the soft top up so you can see that. We do, of course, have the original hard top as well back in the showroom on a stand. We'll have photos of that. And then we'll do a little walk around with the soft top, see what you think, put the top back down, and go for a drive. All right, here it is with the soft top up and in place. You can see it's navy blue to match the interior. Absolutely excellent condition. Beautiful material, no rips, no tears. It was just down, so it's got a little bit of wrinkling here, but the minute the sun hits that, it goes all away and is nice and tight. The rear windows, immaculate, no fading, warping, nothing at all. Very, very proper and everything lovely. So there it is. We're going to get that soft top back down again because that is absolutely the finest way to drive this car. And then we'll go for a spin. All right, soft top back down and in place. The car is now an open 2-seat Roadster, as it should be. And let's hop in and go for a spin. You can just feel the weight and quality in every part of this car, from Even just turning the ignition, to the way the doors close, to the way the steering feels. Just everything about this car feels like high quality and lovely. And this is just a joyous feeling. I've got a nice cool Florida morning, not too cool, not too hot. I've got the wind blowing around and my vintage Mercedes SL Roadster performing beautifully. So now that big V8, you can really feel how it moves the car down the road. That was such a nice improvement from the 380 SL, which was a bit sluggish. Very nice neighbors this morning. People waving and friendly, as it should be. And off we go. So again, you know, so many of these things, you hit the brakes, it pulls hard to the right or the left, the wheel vibrates, it feels loose, you got a lot of play, you know, the brakes are mushy, the transmission shifts hard. This thing drives like the day it was new. You really feel the magic in this car. You know, exactly what made them so popular and desirable and so, you know, so driven by a lot of people who just couldn't stand to not have one. You know that by the numbers they were made in. You know, for a luxury car, they built a few. The only bummer is most of them are junk now, and the fantastic ones are few and far between. And this is one of the fantastic ones. Right. Well, there's one of those phone calls that cuts off the camera. That was from my sister, who had absolutely nothing interesting to tell me about. Oh no, we gotta go through some mist here. Anyway, as you can see, incredible car, absolutely stunning vehicle, terrific condition, collector quality. This is a sweetheart. If you have an interest, give us a call, 239-649-7300, on the web at mercedesexpert.com. Thank you again for having a look. Again, 1988 560 SL Roadster, 36,000 miles. Mint, one family owned, all Florida car. This thing's a champion. Thank you for having a look. Take care. We'll see you with the next one. Take care.